Hi, in today's tutorial we are going to discuss how to create this simple mechanism using ironcad. To create any mechanism we have to discuss its element first. So regarding to this mechanism we can see it has a fixed plate that's containing all other elements, two main, two main stands, one for the rotating wheel and the other for the main link. Actually it has a piston that's moving upward and downward, and it has other two arms or two handles uh, with being supported at this point and this point and this point. Okay, so this is the main screen that we can see once we initialize ironcad. You will have to choose whether you want to create a new part or new ironcad part, or to open an existing one. In our case, we are going to create a new file. In the new file tab, you will find the three main choices. First, you can create a 3D scene, which we are going to use, and you can create a drawing of a 3D scene that you created. Let's say that you have a 3D part and you wanted to get its three main view, elevation, side view, and top view, for example, or isometric view. You can use this drawing choice. Also, this is another feature in ironcad. It's called draft. Draft, it's like AutoCAD. It's a 2D editor or 2D CAD editor. You can create 2D plans or CAD files. Um, we are not going to discuss this part, but if you want to know more about the draft feature in ironcad, you can refer to the video in the description of this video. So we choose 3D scene. After you choose 3D scene, you will have to choose your units if you're using English units or metric units. So I will use your metric units, and you can choose your uh, it's called you can customize your background color, for example. So you can choose black or blue, dark blue. I choose blue. Okay, it's loading now. Okay, this is the main screen you will have in ironcad. I will go through some of the main important features and tabs that we are gonna use in this tutorial, but I will not discuss each details. If you want to know more about these icons and tab, you can refer to the basic tutorials of ironcad on YouTube. This is called our feature tree tab. Uh, we will see how it's gonna work while we are working in this tutorial. Uh, Mainly, it contains all the elements in the scene. So if you have lights or cameras, or you will have a 3D elements or features, all of them will be listed in this uh, list or tab. These tabs are very important in our tutorial today. You will have what's called feature tab. Feature tab contains all features that you can create on a 2D sketch that you will do first. We will discuss this in details in this tutorial. However, that's what all you want to know in this feature tab. Some of the basic and main and most important uh, tools like extrude and spin. Also, you have to know blend edges, uh, boolean, mirror feature. We will discuss some of them during this tutorial. A sketch. Sketch contains all the different and main and most important sketches that you can create in uh, in ironcad. You can create a polyline, you can create a line, rectangle, circle, ellipse, and other sketch features. Surface, if your project is about surfaces, not solid bodies. In our project, we are gonna use solid bodies, so we're not gonna encounter this tab in this tutorial. Assembly, it's mainly used in mechanical design as the mechanisms that we have. You will model each and every simple shape of these elements alone, and you will assemble them in the whole mechanism. So assembly is working to combine all your feature or your elements together in one complete mechanical mechanism. Sheet metals, this type of mechanical work is called sheet metals. Uh, we're not gonna discuss it today. Weldments used for the main and standard beams like I beam and C, and it's mainly for weldments or steel structures. Some tools we will discuss in this tutorial also, and visualization. It contains some tools that's working for previewing your model and rendering. We will use some of them, and animation. So this is the main tabs. So let's get back to our mechanism. First, we are gonna use. Uh, Actually, I want to discuss some important point. Uh, at the bottom, you will see this tab. This tab contains some tools that you will need in this tutorial. For example, you can set your view. Either you want front view, top view, back. This is not obvious here. I can create. I can show it better. Okay. Uh, on this icon, you can see this is the icon of the iron can. If you click it, you will have this menu. From this menu, you can choose catalog and auto hide. Okay, this is a standard catalog, contains some of the main features and most important features that most of the 3D modelers use. It's built in the program, so it's easy to use. For example, if I wanted to drag and drop block, so I will drag and drop this block. So let's see how. Uh, in order to rotate your 3D model, you can click the middle button or the wheel, and to zoom you can scroll your wheel, so you can rotate and you can scroll. And if you click shift and click the middle button of your mouse, you can pan in your view. So this is the main three important commands that you will use uh, to visualize your model during this tutorial. Okay, let's get back to our point. What we were discussing, that you can from this icon you can show the front view, the top view, left, and so on. Okay, this shows what's called perspective. It gives some perspective to your model. This will work fine for visualization's sake. For the sake of the visualization, show and hide can show 2D sketches or hide them. We will use them it later. We will use it later. Okay. This shows your view. For example, in the current view, you can see the main 3D model and the outline lines, or the outer lines of the 3D model. Another choice can be shaded. It happened. Wireframe, for example, you can create wireframe, or you can create wireframe and the hidden lines will be dashed like this, or you can make it we work with a standard choice which is shaded with edges. Okay, and this is a very important choice In ironcad you have a choice to choose one of the two types of modeling, whether you can use innovative part or structured part. In our tutorial we will use structured part. Why we will use structured part? Because it has the same features that you will have in other 3D CAD models like modeling software like Inventor or CATIA or SolidWorks. I'm used to use SolidWorks, so I will use structured part. And if you want to know more about innovative part and structured part, you can refer to the second video in the description. Let's get back to our mechanism. First element we will create is this fixed plate. It's rectangular shape plate, so we can insert a standard block. Once you insert this block, you will find that you have a new part listed in your feature tree. You can edit its name, fixed plate. Now we want to modify each dimensions. Double click on it. You can drag this handle and write your dimension 150. Note that your dimensions are in millimeter. This is for the length. For the width, let's make it 50, and for the thickness, let's make it 5. Click anywhere. Here is our new plate. Okay, now we want to create this stands. First, we will create this first stand, and we will create a small stand. To create the first stand, we will use sketch to first we will use a sketch to draw this shape, and then we will use a feature called extrude that will extrude this 2D shape into the 3D shape. Okay, let's see. In order to sketch, you have to choose a 2D plane that you will sketch on. This plane could be a face like this one, could be this face, could be this face, or it could be the main global faces X, Y, or Y, Z, or X, or X, Z. Okay, I'll choose this face. I'll click on 2D shape. Here he wants me to choose a face that I will draw on it. I can select this face, and I have a number of choices. Oh, sorry, this is not cancel. Again, feature 2D, select this face. Okay, now let's see what we want to do. We can create this sketch on an offset from the face. This is the choice we want to do. Actually, I don't want to create the sketch on the same face. I want to be on a plane that is a little bit parallel or offset from this face. So I select offset from the face. We can put the lens here. So let's see, let's say 20 milli. Notice that it moved 20 milli in this direction. I want to be in the reverse direction. So all I will have to do is to change this sign. Okay. Okay. Now let's select the front view. Okay. Let's click OK. Now you have the ability to draw any of the following tools. So let's get back to the shape. How we can create this shape? I would think I will draw a rectangle like this. Click escape, and I will modify these points by grabbing them like that. This is not accurate. So now we will use what's called tool called Smart Dimension. You will find it in constraints. Click on this arrow and you will find Smart Dimension. So you can have dimensions for each single line. Let's say let's make it 12, and let's make this from this point to this point 6. Let's make this 40 for example, and from here to here let's make this 20, and for the height let's make 50 for example. Perfect. This is great. Now what if we want to create this type of fillet? Okay, you will have a fillet tool right here. Click on it and click on this point and drag until you get this curvature from the other side again. Now we have almost the same shape in the mechanism. Okay, now we will click finish. Once you click finish, you have this 2D sketch. Now we want to give it some thickness like the one in the mechanism. Go to features, click on extrude. You have two choices, whether to select a part from a scene or select a new standalone part. We will discuss both. First, the first choice, if you want the created part to be attached to this part, so the program will treat them as a whole one part and create a new standalone part. You will create it will the software will deal with each one of them separate. So I want it to be apart from the scene. So I will select this part. Now it understands that this sketch or this part is part of this one. Okay, create direction. First, you have to select the profile that you want to extrude. So we'll select this profile. Under direction, you will find uh, your uh, your dimension. Let's say 10. Mhm. These are some choices that you can choose from uh, for for the uh, for the extrude option. In this first one, extrusion with 10 millimeter, it will create a thickness of 10 millimeter. So if I create through all, you will see that it will extrude until it fits until it finishes the part you have selected. So this is the last end of it, or the last face of it. It will extrude until it reaches it. Up to vertex, I can select a vertex. For example, here is a vertex. Again, it will extrude up to this. Or up to a surface, I can select this surface, or up to a face, and so on. In our choice, we will select a mid-plane. What's mid-plane? Mid-plane, it extrudes in both directions with 10 millimeters in each direction. So if I want all of it to be 10 millimeter, I will choose 5 millimeter. So it will extrude it 5 millimeters in this direction and 5 millimeters in the other directions. Okay. Here is the first stand. Now we want to create this other stand, but I will first I will create this arm first. So I have a reference dimensions for the wheel and the other stand. Okay, if you note that in order to create this arm, you have you you need first to have this space or this cut in the stand that contains this arm. So we'll create this cut. Also, you need to have a hole in this place and a hole in the other side, so it can contain the pin of the arm. So first, let's create the hole and let's create the cut in this tab. To create the hole, you can find the fixed plate as we have mentioned that it treats this extrusion as a part of the fixed plate, so it does not create a new part. So if we click on the plus sign beside fixed plate, we find the extrude tool. These last features we have created. If you click on the plus sign next to it, you will have the sketch. So you can right click and edit. This if you want to edit a sketch you have created before. Now I will add a center hole and dimension it. Let's say it's very small hole, so we can give it 2.5 for example. No, that's very small. Let's make it 1.5. 1.5 is fairly fair. Okay, now let's click finish. You'll notice that your feature has been modified directly automatically. You didn't do anything, just adding this circle in the sketch. It has been automatically modified. Now let's create this cut. In order to create this cut, we need to create um, a rectangle and create feature called cut extrude that will cut through uh, this solid body. Okay, we can choose again sketch, select shape. Now I want to create this rectangle on the YZ plane, in this plane. So I will click YZ plane. Now we can create the rectangle shape and have our smart smart dimension tool. Uh, let's make it uh, 15. It's also 15. This 8. Let's make it 5. And this one also 5. Now I wanted to center this rectangle in the middle of these two lines. So I will create a reference line on this line and another reference line on this line. Okay, now we know that this distance is 10 millimeters and this is 5 millimeters, so the distance from here to here should be 2.5 millimeter. Okay, now it's centered. We have a problem. If we created any feature of the features, it will treat these two lines as a part of the sketch. I have put these two lines as reference only. So I will click on this line and select use as a construction, and from the other one select use as a construction. So it will treat it as a reference line, and it will not consider it in the sketch while we are creating our features. You can see it's dashed here. Now you can say finish, and on the feature create extrude. Again select the same body and select our uh, sketch. Now regarding direction, we will create through all. Okay, and create remove material. Now select the so select up to surface. Select up to surface and select this surface, so it will cut any geometry in this space. So we have a problem here. Let's get back to our sketch. Edit our sketch again. What's the problem now? I get it. It would be better if you can move a little bit above the border. Now click finish, and here is our cut. You can hide these sketches. You'll find it here. You can right click and select hide selected. Select hide selected. Okay. Now let's create the main arm. This blue one. Again, go to sketch, 2D shape, select this face, and here is a very important point. This new arm will be a standalone arm, which will be a new part, not connected to the first part. So we need its origin. This is the origin, so we need its origin to be at the center of this circle. This will be very handy when we will come to the animation. So we just click on the center. If we hover over the circumference of this circle, we will have the choice to choose this green center point. So we click it, it will transfer the origin to it. So click, we click the check mark. Okay, now we have to draw a rectangular shape. If we click on this little arrow, we have many choices to create a rectangle. We will create a center rectangle. So if we click on center rectangle, we can select this origin, and we can create a rectangle. Now let's go to smart dimension. Let's make this 100, for example. This also 100, and from here to the center point 50. Let's make this. We know that the cut we have created was about 15 millimeter, so we can create this about 8 millimeter. And now from here to the center, let's make this 4. Even we can reduce this also. Let's make this 3. Here is our basic shape. We will create some fillets just for assistance of the shape. Of course, you can do this fillet with dimension if you want. Just click here and change the dimensions to be, for example, 2 or 4. Control C, Control C, fillet, make this 4, and the other one, fillet again. Okay. Okay. Now don't forget to create the center hole. Now click finish and feature extrude. Here is a new choice. We create a new standalone part and select this sketch. We know that this thickness is about 5 millimeters. We'll leave it as a 5 millimeters. Okay, here is our new arm with the center hole. Now we need to create this pin and this pin. Okay, go to sketch, 2D sketch, select this face and click OK. Okay, now let's create a hole. We can create this hole like here. Dimensions 1.5 is fine. Let's create the other pin. So just hover to this center. You will find that you can snap to this red axis. So like here, create another hole. 1.5 is pretty good. Now let's see what we want to do. Okay, let's click finish and feature extrude. Okay, in this part we will select a part from the scene, so we wanted these pins to be apart from this main arm. Select this arm and now select the sketch. Okay, we will extrude this sketch in two directions. First direction, in this direction we will make it about 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter, for example, and I want it to be 2 millimeter from the other side, but this thickness is about 5 millimeters, so I want in the direction number 2 to extrude it with 7 millimeters, 5 millimeters in this direction inside the 3D geometry and the 2 millimeters outside the other face. Click OK, and here is our pen. Let's get back to our mechanism. Okay, here is another problem that we have created. We have created a pin in the main arm. We have created a hole, sorry, in the main arm, but we have to create a pin, not a hole. So we can modify this hole in the arm here. There is a hole. We can modify this hole and create a pin like this one. So let's get back. A good point to notice that in this case, since we have selected a standalone part, we have another part called part 3. We can rename it main arm. Okay, plus check. We can see two features. First one for the main extrude of the arm, and the second one for the extrusion of the pins. Let's edit this part. We will delete this hole and click finish. Now you see that the hole has been eliminated. Now we want to add this pen. So in the other extrude, let's edit the sketch and add another hole here. Now let's finish, and use our pen. You can see it from here and from here. Great. Okay. Actually, we can just grab it a little bit outside so it can fit perfectly. Great. Now let's create these two linkages, the red one and the green one. Okay, as usual, create 2D shape from sketches, select this face, and don't forget to transfer this origin to the center of this circle. Okay, now let's create a rectangle in the center rectangle. Give it some dimensions. Sorry, give it some dimensions. 10, it's also 10, give this 10, and from here to here, give it 5, and from here to here, give it 5. Okay, now create a standard rectangle and give it some dimensions, 25 for example, 25, and from here to the center 1.5, and let this be 3. Okay, now escape and drag this rectangle here. We will select a new tool called trim in order to delete the common line between the two rectangles. So click on this and click trim and click on this line. It will delete the line from the standard rectangle. Click once again, it will delete the line from the upper rectangle. Now it's an open section, it's an open sketch, so that the feature can recognize it and create the extrude feature. Click finish, feature, extrude. Okay, we will create a standalone part and select the sketch. Now we will extrude this geometry in two directions. The first direction we will create it 1 millimeter for example, and the other direction 5 millimeters for the thickness of the main link, and 1 millimeter in the other side. So let's create this 6 millimeters. Okay, here it is. We have let's get back. There is a hole in this point, and there is a hole in this point, and the end is not rectangular, it's a little bit filleted. So we can return just have a notice that it created a new part called part 5. We can uh, rename it red first small r type. Okay, let's edit the sketch. Okay, first of all we need to create a hole here, so can create circle here. Also we need to create another small hole here. Let's give it a dimension of 4.75 for example, and let's have some fillets here, here. Also some fillets here, another fillet, and the last one. Okay, let's click finish. There is our shape. Okay, now we need to create a cut extrude here, like this one. So let's create our cut. Again, sketch 2D, select this face. Okay, now let's create our cut. Create rectangle. Uh, let's say from this point to that point. Just make sure that it's snapped to this point and this edge and this edge. Okay, now click finish, feature, extrude, select this part and select this sketch, drag this handle and select remove material. Don't forget to select remove material, otherwise it will create another 3D geometry instead of deleting from the 3D geometry. Okay, it says problem. So what the problem? We have to select apply to and select this part. Okay, and here it is. Great. Okay. Just you have a note that both of the red arm and the green arm are identical. So instead of creating the green arm from the first beginning, we can just mimic or create a mirror for this part in the other direction. So in order to do this, we can use here is a problem. We need to edit this problem just a moment. This arm is meant to be oscillating in this around this axis. So when it will oscillate, it will contact this part. So since there is no gap between this part and this surface, in order to modify this problem or solve this problem, we have to edit the cut extrude and enlarge it from the button. So we go to the first small arm and in the cut extrude, edit the cross section. Just grab like that. Finish. Have a check. Now it has been modified. Okay. Now we want to create the second arm shown in this place, the green one. Okay. Instead of going through the whole process of creating the first arm, we can just copy and paste the first arm and place it in the place of the second arm. So let's do it. Copy, paste. You find in the feature tree that you have another part that has the same name of the first small arm. So in this place you will find two parts overlapping of each other. Now we want to move the copied one to the second place. Okay, so now go to the assembly tab and just click on the tripod. Tripod is just a tool that enables you to move a part in the 3D. You find that okay now if you don't select any of the bodies you'll find that it's not activated. Now we want to select the last one we covered and click tripod. Okay, uh, you may you may have your tripod in any place otherwise in the center of the part that you want. For example, you can find the tripod in this place. I'll show you so you can be familiar with what I'm talking about. Once you click the tripod, you can find your tripod in this place. So if you want to move the part, you can just click this point and move it. But you will notice that there is a shift between the center of the part and the tripod. Okay, how to fix this problem if you faced it? Just after you select tripod, just right click anywhere in the space and select position tripod center. Now you can grab the center of your tripod to any point that you want to be the center of your tripod. In our case, we want it to be here. Grab it and place it here. Okay, great. Now click space. Just click space to activate your tripod. So now, if you want to move our part, we can just click this point and move it. You will notice that you can move the center of your part. Okay, now grab your part and place it in the center of the circle and click tripod again. Now you have a second part that is in place. Just rename it second small r. Okay, let's go back to the mechanism and see what we have to do now. We need to create this wheel and this stand, and we need to create the piston and the enclosure of the piston. Okay, let's start with the wheel and the stand. Let's select this face and sketch 2D shape. Just select this point or this face. Okay, now we will draw a small circle. Click finish, feature, extrude. Now we want to select create new standalone part and select our sketch, flip dimension 7 mm. Okay, this is just the pin that will be attached to the wheel. Uh, so in this hole there is a pin that's attached to the wheel. Okay, now we need to create the wheel. 2D shape, select this face. Okay, okay. We can notice that the center of the wheel is a little bit shifted from this point. So we create a center circle that is a little bit shifted, for example here, and let's give it a dimension and say 6, for example. Okay, now let's give the dimension from here to here, from this point. Sorry, click smart dimension from here to here, 0.5 for example. And now we want to create a center hole in which the stand will be mounted. So smart dimension 1.5, finish, feature, extrude. Now we will select a part from the scene because we want this wheel to be as in the same part of the pen. Now we select the circle and give it a dimension of 1.5. millimeter, for example. Now we have the wheel. Let's create the stand. Okay, let's select this face, sketch to the sketch. Select this face. Okay, great. Now let's create a rectangle. Like this one. And now let's modify its shape. Have this point to this point, and this point to this point. Now let's give it some dimensions. Say this will be 4, and this will be 15, for example, and 2, and 7.5, for example. Okay, now let's finish and feature extrude. This stand will be a separated part from the wheel because we want the wheel to be moving moving separately from the stand, so we can't create this stand to be select a part from C. We will create it as a new standalone part and select the sketch and give it a dimension, say 2. Okay, we just need to create a pin in the stand so that the wheel can be mounted on. Select the face of the stand to the shape, select the face. Okay, now let's draw a circle at the center. This circle. Okay, finish, feature, extrude, select a part from the scene, select the stand, and now select the sketch. Okay, there's something wrong. Okay, let's leave it on. Let's hide the wheel so we can select the sketch rightly or in right way. Hide selected, okay. And hide this sketch also. And now let's click extrude again. Select this stand and select uh, the sketch and now click OK. Let's unhide the wheel. Show all. Now we have created the wheel and the stand, so the right part is ready. Let's get back to the mechanism and see what the next step is. The next step is to create the piston. So let's just find the details of the piston. Okay, let's go and create the piston. In this phase, we will create a sketch, 2D sketch. Okay, create a rectangle. This shape and give it some dimensions. Say 5. Sorry, get back. grab this point and this point like this, and this point like this. And now let's give some dimensions. Say this one is 1.5 for example, from here to here 4.75, and this one 3.5 for example, 0.5 from here to here 1.75 lens 3.5. Okay, this is good enough. Finish, feature, extrude, create a new standalone part, select this sketch, give it some dimension. Okay, okay, let's create the pin that go through uh, this hole, and we want to create another one on the other side. Let's do it. Select the other face. So select the other face. Sketch 2D shape. The other face. Okay. Select the circle. Note that if we move, if you hover over the circumference of the circle, it will be highlighted. If you move around the circumference and we get back to the center, your cursor will be snapped to the center of the circle. Like finish, feature, extrude. We want this part to be apart from the part. So select this part. Now select the sketch. Great. Can just move it. Or we know beforehand that's 7 millimeters. Click OK. Now we have this. We want to create another one like this and on this side. So what we can do, we can just mirror this part on the other hand. So we go to the mirror feature, select feature, we select this part and select the plane, you select this plane. Okay. Here is a problem. So what is the problem? I think the problem is that the plane that we selected to mirror this part on the other side was not at the center at the center of uh, at exactly the center of the part. So we wanted to modify this plane in order to be in the center of this part. Let's get back and delete this mirror feature, and now uh, let's create a datum plane. Select select this part, and now let's create a plane. Okay, if we selected this face, we know that the thickness of this part is 7 millimeters, so we want it to be offset from this face around 3.5 millimeters. Okay, now we click OK. So this is the plane that we will mirror this part around. Now click mirror, select this part and the plane. Now notice that there are two planes. Select the last one, click OK, and here is the part. Try to select. Okay. Now we want to create this circular part of the piston. So we will select this face, click sketch, 2D sketch, select it, and click OK. Now we wanted to see through the out this part. How we can do this? I think we can just cancel this sketch and select this part and click hide selected. Okay, now get back to sketches, to the sketch, select this face. Okay, we need to create a circle that has a center of these two parts. So how we do this? Let's create let's create a line in the center of this part and a line and the center of this part, and let's convert it to construction. So use it as construction. Now let's go to this to circle. You will notice that the cursor is snapping to the center of this line. If you get to this line, you will find it snapping to this line, to the center. Now let's create an appropriate circle and give it any dimension if you want. Say 5.5 for example. And now click finish, feature extrude, create from a part from the scene, and select the sketch and click OK. So here is the inner part of our piston. Now let's show the plate that we have made it hidden. Now we need to create the outer part of the piston. So how we do this? Click on this face, sketch to the sketch, click on this face. Okay, we need it to be at the center of this circle. So I select this circle and now hover over the circumference of the circle. Sorry, I didn't choose the right center. To make it easy, we can hide this part and hide this part also. Now let's do it again. Sketch to the sketch, select this face. Okay, center circle. Great. Now we want just note that the outer part have a wall, so you have a circle inside and another circle outside. Let's create this and the other circle outside. There is a new feature that's called offset. Select offset and select the sketch you have made. Now click a distance about 1.5 millimeter. Click finish and feature extrude. Now we need to create this outer diameter to be apart, or this outer 3D body to be apart from the stand itself. So we will select create apart from the scene and create this. Set this and then select the geometry, give it some dimension, say 16%. Okay, right click, show all. So this is our mechanism. After we have created all elements, we need to add constraints in order to achieve the mechanism required. First of all, you need to click on Tools tab, and then you have to click on Mechanism Mode. Then you can separate all parts. Okay, and click OK. First, you have to make sure that this part and this part are fixed. They are fixed in parent. You check first fixed in parent. This will fix both parts in space so that you can have a fixed reference in space, and you will assemble all the other parts according to this fixed part. Let's assemble the part. First of all, let's click on position constraints. Now let's assemble this mechanism first. So let's assemble it. Click this cylinder, this other cylinder, and in the space just click the left click button to accept the constraint you have created. Move to the other constraints, select this face and this face again, and now click OK. If you have created any constraint that is not correct, like this, the last one you have created, you can get back to the feature tree in constraints, locked, and delete the last one. Now let's make it correct again. Just select this face and this face and change align to coincident. Now click OK. Let's assemble this wheel in the holder. So select this cylinder, the inside, again select positioning constraint, select this inside cylinder and select the outside of this cylinder and click left click in any space. Then select this, the other face around, and this face. Make sure it's coincident and click OK. Now let's assemble this arm in this arm. Position constraint. Select this face and this one and click OK. Let's test the mechanism so far. Great, it's working fine. Now let's assemble the piston in the arm. Select position constraint again. Select this cylinder and that cylinder. OK. And select just click OK. Then select position constraint again. Select this cylinder, and OK. Now let's assemble this arm in the main arm. Select the circle and this one. Click OK. Select this face and this face and make sure it's in align mode. And change the dimension. Say 1 millimeter. Apply. Okay. Now click OK. After we have finished the assembly, we now need to create the animation. Let's check our assembly first. Tools, mechanism mode. Great, it's working. Now we need just to add a rotary motion to this disk so the animation will be created. Okay, first of all, we need to make sure we need to make sure that the center that the origin of this part is at the center of this disk. So we select this disk and click on origin point. Uh, Sorry, we select this disk only. Select this disk. You will notice that the origin. This is the origin point. It's beyond the center of this circle or this disk. So we need to bring this origin to the center of this disk. So when we add a rotary motion, the disk will be moving around the origin. So in order to do so, we select the disk, then select this point and go to tools, click tripod. Now from the perspectives, click front. Now just bring this ball nearly to the center of the disk. So zoom in to get a better view. It's almost in the center. Okay, fine. Now click on tripod again. Okay, now go to visualization. Okay, and click on smart motion editor. You'll find that the editor, this is the frame, the time in seconds. You have no motion, so click on catalog browser. On this arrow, select animation. From animation, select width spin. Select width spin and add it to the disk. You find that there is animation added to the smart motion editor. Now click on and play. You'll find that the animation is working. Now we need to repeat this motion. So we click on this animation and click expand. On expand, click properties, time effect. In type, select linear and say repeat 10 times. Now in general, make sure that the length is around 1 second. Click OK. Okay, now we need to expand the animation time. So we just click here and at the end, grasp this to be 10 and this width, grasp it to be also 10. Now let's try it. Click play. You find that the motion is being repeated 14 times uh, during 10 seconds. Okay, our final fine tuning will be to make this part. Now click on off as animation and click on this part. Select smart paint and go to transparency. Make it 50. Great. Now click on again the animation. Click play and here is our animation. Thank you.